Video number 91 from MythoReligio series Book 4. The Great Pyramid of Khufu in Giza, Egypt, Africa. Part 3. Dear fellow truth seekers, in this channel I have shared with you some mysterious megalithic constructions in Europe, the Middle East and South America. And until today it remains a mystery as to how did our supposedly primitive ancestors build them. Then, in the past few weeks, I have shared information about other ancient megalithic constructions in a specific pyramidal shape that are found all over the continents in the world, i.e. Africa, America, Asia, and Europe. Last week, I have shared information concerning the most famous pyramid in the world located in North Africa, that is, the Great Pyramid of Khufu in Giza, Egypt. We have learned that although conventional historians typically tell us that the function of this pyramid is to bury Pharaoh Khufu, his mummy was never found. Also, that Pharaoh Khufu himself has never admitted that he built this pyramid. We also still cannot explain the method of construction of this great pyramid. We have also learned that the newer Egyptian pyramids wherein the mummies were found are not of the same sophistication as the older pyramids, including the Pyramid of Giza. All these facts have led several researchers to doubt that the Pyramid of Giza might not be built by the dynastic Egyptians. Conventional historians date this pyramid at circa 2500 BCE. But is it true? Dating the pyramid. Still further evidence that the dynastic Egyptians did not construct the Great Pyramid of Giza may be found in the sediments surrounding the base of the monument, in legends regarding watermarks on the stones halfway up its sides, and in salt incrustations found within. Silt sediments rising to 14 feet around the base of the pyramid contain many seashells and fossils that have been radiocarbon dated to be nearly 12,000 years old. These sediments could have been deposited in such great quantities only by major sea flooding, an event the dynastic Egyptians could never have recorded because they were not living in the area until 8,000 years after the flood. This evidence alone suggests that the three main Giza pyramids are at least 12,000 years old. In support of this ancient flood scenario, mysterious legends and records tell of watermarks that were clearly visible on the limestone casing stones of the Great Pyramid before the stones were removed by the Arabs. These watermarks were halfway up the sides of the pyramid, or about 400 feet above the present level of the Nile River. Further, when the Great Pyramid was first opened, incrustations of salt an inch thick was found inside. While much of this salt is known to be natural exudation from the stones of the pyramid, chemical analysis has shown that some of the salt has a mineral content consistent with salt from the sea. The salt incrustations found at a height corresponding to the water level marks left on the exterior are further evidence that at some time in the distant past, the pyramid was submerged halfway up its height. The purpose. Let us turn our attention briefly to the matter of the purpose or multi-purposes of the Great Pyramid, drawing for our discussion on both the exact measurements made by modern scientists and the mythic legends of the remote past. A few facts. The sides of the pyramid are lined up almost exactly with the cardinal points of the compass. The accuracy of this alignment is extraordinary, with an average discrepancy of only about 3 minutes of arc in any direction, or a variation of less than 0.06%. The precision with which the Great Pyramid of Khufu was executed is often the source of marvel and speculation. The orientation of this pyramid in relationship to true north is such as to cause it to be declared the most accurately oriented edifice on earth. That is to say, its 4 sides are directed to the 4 cardinal points of the compass with less than 3 minutes of 1 degree off true north. The second pyramid of Giza exhibits a consistent accuracy of alignment, which is also extremely impressive, just 6 arc minutes from true north. By comparison, the Paris Observatory is 6 minutes of 1 degree off true north. The Great Pyramid functioned as an enormous sundial. Its shadow to the north and its reflected sunlight to the south accurately mark the annual dates of both the solstice and the equinoxes. The basic dimensions of the Great Pyramid incorporate measurements from which the Earth's size and shape can be calculated. The pyramid is a scale model of the hemisphere, incorporating the geographical degrees of latitude and longitude. The latitude and longitude lines that intersect at the Great Pyramid, 30 degrees north and 31 degrees east, cross more of the Earth's land surface than any other lines. Thus, the pyramid is located at the center of the land mass of the Earth. The pyramid is built on the closest suitable site to this intersection. The original perimeter of the pyramid equals exactly 1/2 minute of latitude at the equator, indicating that its builders measured the Earth with extreme precision and recorded this information in the dimensions of the structure. Altogether, these measurements show that the builders knew the exact dimensions of the planet as precisely as they have been recently determined by satellite surveys. The foundation of the Great Pyramid is amazingly level. No corner of its base is more than 1/2 inch higher or lower than the others. Considering that the pyramid's base covers more than 13 acres, this near-perfect leveling far exceeds even the finest architectural standards of the present day. Measurements throughout the pyramid show that its constructors knew of the proportions of pi, 3.14, etc., phi, or the golden mean, 1.618, and the Pythagorean triangles thousands of years before Pythagoras, the so-called father of geometry, lived. Measurements show that the builders knew the precise spherical shape and size of the Earth and had accurately charted such complex astronomical events as the precession of the equinoxes and the lunar standstill dates. The minute discrepancies of the length of the base of the pyramid, several inches over the 230-meter length of its base, reveal not an error on the part of the builders, but an ingenious means of incorporating into the pyramid the discrepancies of the Earth itself, in this case the flattening of the Earth's globe at the poles. Shafts leading upward from the 2 main chambers, previously thought to be air shafts for ventilation, have been shown to have another possible purpose. A miniature electronic robot mechanically crawled 65 meters up the shafts, and its findings suggested that the south and north shafts in the King's Chamber are pointed to Alnitak, Zeta Orionis, and Alpha Draconis, respectively, while the south and north shafts of the Queen's Chamber point to Sirius and Beta Ursa Minor. While crawling along one of the shafts in the Queen's Chamber, the robot's cameras photographed a previously unknown closed door that may lead to some hidden chamber. Unexplained energetic anomalies. In the 1920s, a Frenchman named Antoine Bovie made the surprising discovery that despite the heat and high humidity of the main chamber, the dead bodies of animals left in the chamber did not decay but completely dehydrated. Thinking that there might be some relationship between this phenomena and the position of the main chamber in the pyramid, Bovie constructed a small-scale model of the pyramid, oriented it to the same direction as the Great Pyramid, and placed the body of a dead cat at the approximate level of the main chamber. The result was the same. As he had observed in the Great Pyramid, the cat's body did not decay. In the 1960s, researchers in Czechoslovakia and the US conducted limited studies of the geometry of the pyramid, repeated this experiment with the same results. They also found that the form of the pyramid somehow mysteriously kept food preserved without spoiling, sharpened dull razor blades, induced plants to germinate and grow more quickly, and hastened the healing of animals' wounds. Other scientists, in consideration of the high quartz content of the granite blocks in the main chamber and the incredible pressures those blocks are subjected to, theorized that the main chamber may have been the focal point of a powerful piezoelectric field. Magnetometer measurements inside the chamber indeed showed higher levels than the normal background geomagnetic field. The correlation theory. During the 1980s, author Robert Bofal was working on a big construction project in Saudi Arabia in his other guise as an engineer. In the evenings, he was in the habit of taking his family and friends out into the desert for a barbecue. Late one night, when the family had all gone to sleep, Bofal and a friend sat talking around the fire. A friend, also an engineer and an amateur astronomer, pointed out the constellation of Orion rising over the dunes. He mentioned in passing that the star seems to be imperfectly aligned, not forming a straight diagonal but with one star offset slightly. To the engineer's eye, this was merely annoying, but as he explained, Bofal felt a jolt through his spine. The position of the three main stars in the Orion constellation precisely mirrors the layout of the three pyramids on the Giza plateau that are also imperfectly aligned. Amazing, isn't it? If you are interested to read further concerning the correlation theory, you should read The Orion Mystery by Robert Bofal and Adrian Gilbert. Dear fellow truth seekers, in this video I'm not going to share my personal theory yet. Right now I'm just sharing some information concerning this pyramid and other megalithic constructions first. However, based on everything I have shared in this channel alone, I can confidently state that the chronology of humanity's prehistory is incorrect. Also, as time goes by, older and older findings keep on coming up to the surface. Therefore, it is safe to say that I think our prehistory is much, much older than what is told by conventional historians. I will share my personal theory when it is time to do so, after sharing all the information needed to draw a conclusion. With this video, I'm ending the pyramidal video series, and up from next week, I will share information from various artifacts around the world that seem to prove that our so-called primitive ancestors had very high astronomical knowledge. They might have the ability to navigate the skies using flying machines, and/or aliens had visited our planet in the distant past. At the meantime, allow me to thank you for watching and hope to see you next week.